So let's talk about negative exponents really quickly. So anything, and this could be any number, anything to the negative exponent, and here we have -1, can be written positive as 1 over x, okay? And the reverse would also be true. So you can write 1 over x to the negative first is also just x. So if it's a negative exponent in the denominator, it's positive going up, okay? So it's really just moving it up and down, okay? But let's look at that. What does that mean with numbers, okay? So if we have 2 to the negative first, okay, kind of looks like a 9, so maybe I'll rewrite that. So 2 to the negative first is really 1/2. Okay, well, what about 1 over 2 to the negative first? Well, that's just a silly way of writing 2, so we'd rewrite that as 2. And so it's just, as you can see, it's just about rewriting it that way. Okay, now things can get slightly more complicated when you have something like x to the third over x to the fourth, because now we're dealing with both the quotient rule and this negative exponent, because I can rewrite this as x to the negative first. But if we follow that rule, then we have 1 over x, okay? So it's just a combination of those rules. All right, what else can I tell you about negative exponents? Yeah, again, if you have something like 1 over negative x squared, that's just x squared. You move that to the numerator, okay? And I also want to mention this has nothing to do with negative numbers. So something like 3 to the negative third is not a negative number. This is equal to 1 over 27, which is a positive number, but it's just less than 1, okay? But it's not less than 0. So this is still a positive number, and sometimes that can be confused as well. So when we're in lecture, we talked about this problem, and we had 56 over 80, p to the fourth, p to the third, and q to the fourth, q to the seventh. This is problem 12 on homework 1.2, okay? Now, in lecture we found that these both have 8 in them. How many 8s does 56 have? This has 7. And how many 8s does 10 have? Or, sorry, I said the answer. How many 8s does 80 have? It's 10. Then p to the fourth, p to the third, so we subtract these, so we just get p. And then we have q to the fourth, q to the seventh, and this is where some of the confusion can happen. I can let this cancel this, and so this would be q to the third. And that's what we found in lecture. Again, just a web work thing. If you have something like that, you want to write parentheses around the denominator because it doesn't understand. So in web work terms, I would write this as 7p slash 10q caret 3. Okay, that's how I would write it for web work. And hopefully that will help you out a little bit with negative exponents. Remember, negative exponents do not have anything to do with negative numbers. Okay, negative exponents are just flipping it from the denominator to the numerator or the numerator to the denominator. I hope that helps. If it doesn't, please contact me and just let me know if you're still having problems. But hopefully that will give you at least a running start